What's up, everybody? How have you all been doing? Welcome to another week of Q&A. And first up, Stay Metal Ray says, "First?" question mark. What's up, dude? How's it going? I see in the chat you said so Ray broke his headstock off of his guitar by accident and fixed it with Flex Seal. So his day has been interesting. I feel it, dude. Flex Seal works underwater. I've never heard of anyone actually using that, so that's awesome. Nice. First name, last name says afternoon. How's it going, dude? Williams Aaron says best time of the day. I appreciate it, brother. Jeremy Braun says hello. Simon Dove, I'm guessing that's your name. I'm sure I probably said that last stream or the one before. I don't know. I forget things pretty easily. Says hello from Bend, Oregon. What's up, dude? Rentaro Suzuki, hello. Carl, what's up, dude? Nice. Williams Aaron says he's good. Almost done with the work week. Simon says, great. Can only hang for 20 minutes though. Customer meeting. So nice. I'm glad you get to spend that 20 minutes with us, man. I'm glad you're here. Michael D says all's quiet here at the office. He did submit his entry for the Valentine's Day contest though. Stoked, dude. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, that's been interesting to watch the reactions to that one, because I think some people are seeing the shred competition and actually thinking that I mean just shred the whole time. But you know, it's up to interpretation. But I'm stoked. I've seen a couple of the entries so far, and I'm really excited to see what you got and what everybody else is going to be turning in. So we just only have 2 more days for that, so I'm excited to see what happens after that. Let's see here. John Voight, what's up, dude? Let's see. Williams Aaron says in response to Ray's, Stay Metal Ray's headstock breaking off, says just get a Strandberg and stop that. I feel it. I actually do want a Strandberg. We had one at the Neural booth at the NAMM show, and I really dug the sound. The quality was really cool. Let's see. Matthias, what's up, dude? Diego says greetings from Chile. What's up, dude? A bunch of metalheads from Chile recently. Like a bunch of like the Neural DSP guys are all from Chile, so that's pretty awesome. Let's see. Abhishek says hello. How's it going, dude? Williams Aaron says I think I've converted about 4 people over to Neural DSP plugins this week. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah. I know I definitely appreciate it, and everybody else here does as well. I mean, like, it's just, you know, the product speaks for itself. You know, like a lot of people have been like talking about how much, like, the fact that so many people are talking about the product really speaks to the quality of what we do, and I'm stoked to be a part of it, dude. Let's see. Yeah, Simon says he can't wait to hear the Valentine's Day entries. Yeah, me too. I've been kind of checking in on them a little bit. Not as many entries this time around as the last competition, but that's okay. Because not everybody wants the Omeg teleport, and I get it, but like it was something that I feel was going to be pretty cool. Cool to do. Yeah, Ray says always good to see you, man. Always good to see you. I'm glad you're hanging out, man. I'm bummed that I didn't get to see you at the NAMM show, dude. He says he also says video coming soon. I'm stoked to see it. Tag me, man. I want to check it out. Clement says, hey Steven, what's up? Not much, dude. How you doing? Just chilling, man. Just chilling. Working on another Artist Tones video right now, so I figured, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not even going to answer that question. Gray Mister. Let's see. Yeah, okay, sorry, got sidetracked by a question. Yeah, working on a new Artist Tones video, so if you guys wanted to see any of that, or any aspects of that, let me know. It's like half finished, partly finished. I don't know. I haven't even finished recording all of the things yet. I'm still like testing out a couple of ideas and theories I have, and recording acoustic guitar actually today. But other than that, like I'm just kind of working on it. But if there's an aspect that you were curious about and wanted to see like the little bit of the process, then put your questions in the chat and I'll try and address them. yeah, so Simon says, yeah, that's my name. I'm dyslexic. Nice. I mean, not nice. My girlfriend's dyslexic. It's really quite a handicap. She hates it. But yeah. Nice. Michael D says very, very well. He's doing very well. He skipped the first one because he had all the neural DSP plugins, but now that he needs the Granifier, he entered this one. Nice, nice. I figured, like, so here's the thing. Somebody's comment on the thread in the Facebook group kind of frustrated me a little bit recently. This morning, because people kind of got bummed or butthurt by the finalists of the last contest, to which I can say, oh, thanks, Carl. He says, nice shirt, Steven. Yeah, I actually have Neural DSP wares. So I got it for the NAMM show. So yeah. But anyway, so like, if you are getting upset that your stuff didn't make it into the finalists or win, like, you're really missing the point of the contests in general, because to me, I think that at the very least, what happens when you enter is you get exposed to the community at large, you find potential writing partners, and you get, some more practice under your belt as far as recording and editing and mixing. So like, and then at best, you get some free stuff. So people who complain about the competition, in my mind, are just not really cognizant of the reasons why we're putting on these contests in general. Because yeah, it's like you get to walk away with free stuff if you do something really awesome. But like, the bigger picture and the long game are what I'm looking at personally, because I look at this as an opportunity to build the community rather than just give away free stuff. So that's my 2 cents on it. But anyway, don't remember why that got on my mind. Maybe I just wanted to vent a little bit, but whatever. Oh yeah, Michael D said something about the contest, so that yeah. Okay, let's see. Michael D says, does Neural have merch for sale, Steven? I'd love a shirt. We don't have merch for sale yet. I know that's something that is in the works. I don't know how much of a priority it is, but I definitely hope that we get some soon, because I've seen some of the designs they're throwing around and I really want some new shirts. So like, I think it'd be dope to get some actual neural DSP wares on the videos on the website. Let's see. Williams Aaron says, oh, I forgot. I bought a Parallax license too. Should be transferred today. Day made. Or tonight. Day made. Awesome, dude. Fantastic. So Gray Mister keeps asking MIDI update for Pliny. It's coming soon. It's in beta and should hopefully be out, like, I don't know, the next couple of weeks, I think. But yeah. It's coming, dude. It'll be here soon. Be patient. That's all I gotta say. Dude, yeah, Jo says, hi, Neural DSP, newcomer here, found your plugins not long ago. Now it's impossible to go back to bias effects. Already pre-ordered Quad Cortex. Dude, fuck yeah, man. I'm stoked to hear that. Yeah, so I tried the bias effects. I tried a couple of the other stuff. And yeah, I remember like when I first got the Fortin Nameless, when I first moved to LA, I was just going to use the trial to do a test mix, because like the band I was trying to mix their album, were like, oh, this Nameless thing it's pretty cool, and it like just kind of came out. So I ended up getting the trial and I bought it like 10 minutes later, and I realized after that, I'm like, I can't go with anything else after that. So yeah, so that's awesome. I'm super happy to have you, dude. Let's go. I'm gonna scroll back up into the comments, make sure I didn't lose anything. Kikiriki man. Yeah, cool. I'll go with that. It says, "What's up? What's up, dude?" And you and your '90s references. 90s or early aughts. I can't remember. I don't know. Lay Mason says, "Good day from Australia." Is it Australia or is Austria? I don't know. AUS is I think that's Australia. I don't know. What's up, dude? How's it going? I'm I'm an idiot. He just said good day from AUS, and that's fucking absolutely gonna be Australia. So I'm an idiot. Love you guys. All right. Giancarlo says, "Hey Steve, the DSP man." Thanks, man. What's up, dude? How's it going? Jeremy Braun says, I'll upload my take on the contest tomorrow." Good, man. I'm great. I'm glad I'll get to see that. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna scroll back up again. Okay, so Matthias actually brings up something that I wanted to address. So Matthias says he's not a shredder by any means, so he'll skip this competition. I think that is not a good excuse. I think that if you are, I think that if you write something that is melodic that fits the song, I think that is just as good as anybody who shreds. Like I myself am not a shredder. Like I don't really spend a whole lot of time practicing that. Like I can do some quick licks, but I prefer more melodic stuff. Like I prefer things that actually complement the song. So if you had something that is just straight melodic, maybe like a little bit of something that's sort of fast, like I think that if you try your best and make something that sounds good to you, like I think that is absolutely as valid a submission as any of the other like wanky shred videos that I'm going to be watching over the next 2 weeks. So, yeah, just fucking kill it, get it out there, and then just, if it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like I said, there are more benefits than winning, right? Like, so again, at worst, you're exposing yourself to the community. You're giving yourself opportunity to write with other people, and you're kind of building a camaraderie with this group of people who are all trying to do really cool things. So like, that's the reason why this is absolutely something that you should be doing, even if you're not interested in winning the plugins. So, okay, another rant over. All right, gonna go skip back down to the bottom. Matthias says, "Okay, dude, you might have convinced me to enter." Like I said, like this community is what I'm concerned about. This community is what I really want to help nurture and build and grow. So like, and it includes kind of like pushing people to get outside of their comfort zone, because that is where one grows the most, is outside of your comfort zone. Like I wouldn't be here like doing what I'm doing in Los Angeles if I wasn't pushed way outside my comfort zone like 2 years ago, I think. A little less than I don't know, year and a half, 2 years ago. If I wasn't pushed way outside my comfort zone by like losing my job and then deciding like, well, I'm just going to give it my best shot, and then just see what happens. Like this is proof that if you just try and do your best, like good things will happen. Okay. I'm on a tear today, dude. Like I'm just ready to rumble, dude. All right. So yeah, Simon Dove says melodic playing is badass. Melodic shred is amazing. I agree. I absolutely agree. Demetrius says, what plugin would you recommend for clean bass tones? And is there going to be bass artist tone videos? I would be happy to see Steve Harris bass tones video. Sure, that would actually be pretty dope. If you're looking for cleans, okay, so there's a couple of different ways that you can do clean tones depending on what you want to hear. Because some people have said that the parallax is not really meant for clean tones. But I would highly disagree. It's just a matter of knowing where to, like, knowing your gain staging and properly pushing the signal where, and like, yeah. Simon says parallax can do cleans nicely. I agree. I'm actually going to be using the parallax in this upcoming video and using, I think, the high and the mid. Let me check my Pro Tools sesh. Let's go ahead and I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. All right, so where is it? Where's my bass? My bass. All right, so I got my bass here. Yeah, so I'm using a mixture of the parallax. What I did was I backed off of the input, so that way it's not hitting the distortion of the mid and high bands. Because like, so you hear the difference between the So as I'm sliding the input up and down, like you'll have to kind of counteract some of the things with like you can see, I took the low band and pushed it up so that way I could have that nice fat warm bottom end, nice compressed low end, mid band, high band. They're not down very far, but I did turn the drives all the way down. But like even then, so like you could hear once I pushed the input up, like you're still getting some of the saturation, right? Um, but if you back off of the input and then compensate by either pushing up the bands or the output overall, then you can get that kind of nice clean tone. But you know, that's not to say that the dark glass won't get you a really great clean tone as well. I actually like the VDU setting on the dark glass is probably my favorite just because of this nice like rich, like I'll just play you some. Like it has a nice rich like mid band to it, and a nice drive that's not too like clangy. Because if you go to like the B7U for this style, I wouldn't recommend it, but like you can hear the difference between the two. So yeah. Yeah. So that's what I think of that. All right. Let's see. Good question. So Lay asks, Lay, I don't know. Lay asks, are plugins and Modulus the industry standard for recording albums now? I don't know if it's gonna be the industry standard. I think that as amplifiers become more and more like synonymous with like the real thing, like the more realistic they become, the more ubiquitous they will be. Because the way I figure it right now is like you could use neural DSP products in professional recordings and like probably 98% of the people won't really know. Like the people who will know are going to be the people who are like touring musicians and producers and engineers. So like it's such a small, you know, number of people. So like you kind of have to ask yourself like when you're saying like, oh, tube amps are better than plugins, like who were you trying to appeal to? Like are you trying to appeal to the mass audience who aren't gonna know the difference? Or are you trying to appeal to those people who are also in the know? So like that's kind of how I feel about it, because it's like I feel that neural DSP products are good at like are at the top and can absolutely compete in like in shootouts with like regular tube amps. But I think they're going to become more ubiquitous as we go along, but I also still think that there's still going to be a need for physical units. I mean, like what else would we model our plugins after, you know? So I think that there's still always going to be a need for physical models. But plugins and profiling and captures, they will all still be uh they'll still all be like pretty used a lot. Anyway. Okay. Midnight Mix, favorite VST company besides Neural DSP? Um for what aspect though? Like I know the STL stuff is pretty good. Like I actually have like I mean, I should probably check out like the competition stuff so I know what's going on, but I really haven't. Also I don't have the time, like I'm just like doing like the content creation stuff. Like I am constantly working on things to entertain the good folks who are watching these streams and these videos of mine. So like I don't really have the time to go through and check out the other stuff. But I have heard because Dimitro in the next comment says, "Hey Steve, did you try out Mercurial stuff?" I've heard that stuff is amazing from people that I trust. And I think that the reason why the Mercurial stuff worked so well is because of their impulse response section. Like they do the Nolly thing where they do like, like hundreds of profiles of the, or not profiles, but like impulse responses. So it's like it's very, very comprehensive capture of the cabinet. So I think that that's one of their strengths. Um, Oh yeah, Michael D says he's going with the overloud THU, though he loves the PRS supermodels from Waves Audio too. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check them out though. Modern Vintage says, "What's up, my dude? Jazzmaster to your right? Yes, it is. The Jazzmaster here. What is it? J something or other. J Moss? I don't know. It's nice." Williams Aaron says, "All right, I'm not big into ballads, but I'll get my entry in tonight." Good, man. Good. I mean, if I would view it as a chance to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, like I mentioned earlier on, like, and try something different because you might find you like something about it, and then you can incorporate that aspect into your own music. Um, it's just a chance to learn different things that you may not normally do. So yeah, I'm stoked that you'll get your entry in though. Like I'm really really excited to see that. Um, William Shapiro says Slipknot tone video question mark. Should be easy with the new Omega. Yes, that is actually in the works. Yeah, with the new Omega, it's pretty like it was almost like too easy. Because I've already got my starting preset ready to go, and now I just gotta like get the rest of the stuff, like the drums and the bass and the whole arrangement all settled up. But yeah, definitely Slipknot's coming. Curious, what song would you want to hear? Because I have a list of songs that I have like ready to go, but I'm curious if you have a suggestion that would work well with the Omega. All right. All right, let's just skip down to the bottom. Yeah, Modern Vintage chimes in with my last rant regarding the plugins being standard comment. They certainly leveled the playing field, bringing Pro Studio and Home Studio tones to almost identical and indistinguishable to most. Agreed. Agreed. 100%. I think that this really does allow, like, it brings that barrier to entry far lower than it was previously. I mean, like, somebody pointed out that it's like, yeah, you know what? Like, that Omega, the Granifier amplifier, it's like $2,000 or $3,000. I'm not sure of the exact price, but it's like, you could have that for not like a fraction. It's a small fraction of that price. Um, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. All you need is a laptop that can run at least one instance of it, and then you can just like play around with it, practice with it, or even just start recording with it. Okay, Stefan Dupont asks, "Hi, are the foot switches on the Quad Cortex mechanical, like on the Line 6 Helix or mini devices? By that will By that I mean, will they do an awful loud noise that prevents it to use them live on quiet sections?" Um, I mean, I got to mess around with the Quad Cortex for a full week. It wasn't that loud. If you're playing live, it shouldn't be a problem. Um, I think, yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. They were pretty quiet from when I was messing around with it. So, yeah. You'll definitely see more videos coming up soon as well of the quad Cortex. So yeah. Jasper asks, Jasper says, hello, Stephen. Love the plugins. Recently, I bought the Parallax and love the 3-band EQ. Will this EQ feature ever be implemented in the Dark Glass plugin? Greetings from the Netherlands. I don't think that that's in the works. I could be wrong about that though. But I don't know if that's, I don't think that that is in the works. I can't say that for sure though. But I'm leaning towards a no. Only because like if you because the Dark Glass X7 is basically the Parallax, as far as my understanding is concerned. So like it's sort of like modeled after their own stuff. But I don't think that that's in the works. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's skip down to the bottom. Yeah, Crazy Dirtweed said yes. Quad Cortex can't friggin' wait, dude. Me either. I'm so stoked. Like I see all the updates and stuff like that, and I'm so stoked to see it live. So Crazy Dirtweed says, my computer can't run recording program and Nolly at the same time. My solution is the Quad Cortex. Are you trying to run the standalone and the recording program at the same time? Because that's definitely gonna not work. But I could be wrong. Yeah. Williams Aaron says, I honestly think the Quad Cortex might be the easiest purchase I make all year. Zero buyer's remorse. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Like I know that the Neural guys have put so much effort and time into the Quad Cortex to make it like the absolute best that it possibly can be. And I'm like they're working super hard at this. And the support from everybody has been super like encouraging to see. So the misanthropist says, "Oh, Steve, I have a Designaire Mobo with Thunderbolt 3. I have a glitch and other problems playing with my plugins. Any chance of firmware update?" Um, I would write to support@neuraldsp.com and see if they can help you do that. If not, like, because at the very least, you'll have brought the glitch to their attention. So that way it can be patched later on because they're always constantly trying to update the plugins to make sure that they run with every system. So yeah, contact support@neuraldsp.com. Let them know your problem, and they'll try and troubleshoot it with you. Yeah. Crazy Dirtweed says his intent is to pipe the Quad Cortex into his interface. So get Nolly loaded onto the Cortex, and then my computer could record straight signals. Will that work? Yes. So you can actually do two things with that. So what you could do, if you wanted to, because you have multiple outs from the Quad Cortex, you could have the Nolly going out like I think you have four outputs. Yeah, you have four outputs. So you can have like a stereo Nolly going to 1 and 2, and then you could have like a raw DI signal going to 3. So that way, in your computer, if you wanted to mix or mess around with your tones, you can then put your Nolly back onto the recorded track, so that way you don't have to worry about the CPU overloading while you're recording. Yeah, Williams Aaron just said basically the same thing that I did. So running two outputs, two outputs, one for dirty tone and one for DI, just split your signal chain. Yep, absolutely. That's 100%. Goodvis 56667 says, "Yo, what's that telly in the back?" So, yeah, so that's like a little Squire telly that I have. It's kind of a beater guitar that I've had for the past several years. I need to switch out the neck in it. When I got it, somebody had stripped the truss rod, so I can't adjust it, and it's like it buzzes like a motherfucker. So I need to switch out the neck on it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, so yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, Crazy Dirtweed says that's exactly what I want. Always keep a clean DI track for reamp and remixing, etc. After it. Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Let's see. Raimundo says, what IRs do I suggest for his new MT15 PRS? What is an MT15 PRS? I'm guessing a Paul Reed Smith guitar. MT15 PRS. Oh, the Mark Tremonti signature amp. Is that what you're looking at? Make sure you have a decent load box to take that on. Otherwise, you're gonna just wow, that white God, that screen just makes me look pale as fuck. I'd never leave this room. There's no natural sunlight. It's depressing. So if you're looking at doing plugging your amp into your interface, make sure you have a decent load box like the Two Notes Torpedo Live or something along those lines, so that way it can take the energy from your head. First name, last name. Okay, so I'm back to this. Raimundo, impulse responses. I don't know. Like, I love the stuff that Neural does, but like, if you look into ML Sound Labs or even the GGD Zilla pack, like those two companies will also get you some really really great impulse responses. The GGD is going to be a little bit more pre-produced already, and the ML Sound Lab you'll like want to tweak it a little bit, but like it's kind of the difference between the two companies. Like GGD is supposed to get you good tones fast. ML Sound Lab is giving you the tools to create your own tone, like immediate or not immediately, but like create your own tone from scratch. Which also kind of filters into first name last name's question. He says, "Hey Steve, what IRs would you think work with the Abasi?" And again, like the impulse responses are such a conditional thing, because your impulse response will really depend on what mix you're using. Soloed, like I'm always been a sucker for like the 184, um, like um, I like the second and third cab in the Nolly. I do like the stuff in the Abasi. Let me see which. Uh, Sorry, I'm gonna grab an Abasi so I can see exactly which impulse responses come into it. Because the thing is, the Abasi's impulse responses were made by Nolly, so you're still getting that same like level of detail. So he has a 57, 421, 414, and 121. So I generally like the 57 and the either the 121 or the 414 in combination. But generally I can find that sort of stuff too. Yeah, like this one's usually pretty good. But if you go with any of the other plugins, um, like I'm really really digging the Omega Ampworks Granifiers impulse responses. I love love love. Okay, so if you go into the Granifiers impulse responses and you go to the Condenser 184 VM, that's like one of my favorites right now. That one, and then I think the 7B MS might be right behind it. Either that or the 7B VM are all like really really good. Um, but yeah, again, like that depends on the context of the track and the mix. So I wouldn't say that there's any specific one, but there's definitely some that I go to on the regular just as like my usual kind of go-tos. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Crazy Dirtweed. It says this has been beaten to death, I am sure, but any ETA on the built-in tuner for Nolly. Don't shoot me for asking, guys. Very, very soon. Yeah, Williams Aaron knew the answer immediately. Um, yeah, it's coming very, very quickly. The guys have been working super hard to get these patches done. I think that it's I don't know if it's a fault on our side for not communicating the difficulty of what we're trying to do with these updates. but like it's not just as simple as like adding code. Dog next door is running, barking. It's not just as simple as adding a line of code into the plugin, because the thing is like everything is balanced like in an equilibrium, and any line of code that's added in could potentially change the sound of the entire plugin. So it takes time to develop these things. It takes time to test them. And then once you test them, you find out what doesn't work. And then you have to go back and you have to tweak the parameters and you have to test it again. So like it's kind of an arduous process. But know that they don't want to put out an update that they immediately have to either rescind or update again. So like it's definitely coming soon. And you're definitely not making me mad or anything by asking that. I understand that that's something a lot of people have been wanting um, for a bit. But yeah, it's coming soon. It's coming very, very soon. So I appreciate you guys' patience. And as Crazy Dirtweed says, it's a small thing, I know. It won't stop me from using Nolly every day, that's for sure. And I appreciate that. I love it. Let's see. Okay, Elijah. I'm gonna just guess that that's what that is. I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation of your name. Says, do you think I need specific pickups for an articulate, crunchy rhythm sound? Or could I get that with the EQing or pedals in your plugins? So there's a couple of ways that you can do that. Like if you want something that's like an articulate, crunchy rhythm sound, something like a passive pickup would probably do fairly well. Um, yeah, because active pickups are going to be a little bit too mm, how do I say this? Like, so if you look at the difference between in waveforms, if you look at the difference in waveforms, um, between like a passive pickup guitar and an active pickup guitar, like the passives are always going to be more, um, like more transient heavy. Like the note actually isn't as loud as the transient, whereas the in active pickups, the transient is basically going to be as level as the rest of the note. So you can imagine that, like, if you imagine the waveform getting bigger and smaller, or like kind of trying to push that through into your gain staging, how much of that note or transient actually gets saturated by the amplifier. Um, so like if you have something that's already kind of compressed and push that into the saturation, everything's going to get saturated. Whereas if you have the passive pickups, the transient's going to get the most saturation and it's going to drop off pretty exponentially once you get to the note. So I would say go with something with a passive pickup if you're looking for what you say is articulate, crunchy rhythm sound. Yeah, passive pickups would be my suggestion on that. Yeah, Crazy Dirtweed says, I had to ask. Sorry, man. It is more complicated than a simple copy paste of the code. Thanks for taking my question, brother. You rock, man. No, man, I appreciate you saying that, and it's definitely something that we are, it's like we are sensitive to, because we do pay attention to the things that people want in our plugins. So like it's something that we do pay attention to the Facebook groups. We do pay attention to the forums and the comment sections and stuff like that. So like, we know that that's something that people really, really want, and we're working our best to do it. So like, you did nothing wrong, and you have nothing to say, nothing to apologize for, my dude. So it's all good. Um, let's see. Quarog Tattoos says, how's the Hoppus guitar you have? Is it good? Dude, it's fucking awesome. I love it. I love it. Dude, Hoppus makes amazing guitars. There's a reason why I've been using it so much recently. Because it's great. I don't actually own it. That's the thing. If you want, like, especially if you're in the US and you want to buy it, like, hit them up and let them know. Because it is for sale. If you don't, I will. But eventually I'm gonna buy a guitar from them, because they're great dudes. They make a great product, and they deserve all the success that they are going to get in the future. So yeah, I couldn't think of any higher praise than that, honestly. Adnan, what's up, dude? How's it going? So Domas says, hi there, my band has tried out all the plugins from Neural DSP. Quick one, 2 guitars plus 1 interface equals deathcore tones. Any key tips? How should we approach the low end and amount of distortion? Cheers. I mean, that's a really like kind of like personal question. It's very like very um yeah, it's gonna be kind of like personal to each person. Like I typically try to stay away from the fizzy kind of distortion. So what I'll do is I'll drag the gain up and down, like not really quickly, like usually really quickly at first, so I can hear how the gain is changing, like the high end, especially like the presence areas, and then just kind of dial it up into the point where like I'm like, okay, soft notes sound good, hard notes sound good. Like as far as like the low end, it depends on the plugin that you're using, but what I can suggest is that the master volume control knobs or like the master knobs or anything like that are going to act more like power tube sections, like a master volume would. So like the more you pump the master volume, the more it's going to saturate in the power section, so it's going to make a warmer tone. Um, Conversely, if you back off of the master volume and then like if there's volume compensation, don't worry about it. If there's no volume compensation, like with the nameless, and you back off the master volume control, you're going to get less low end, but you will need to bump the output of the plugin. So I can really just kind of give you that starting point because any of the plugins could potentially do deathcore. I mean, like depends on the tuning. So if you're on like 7 and 8 strings, like you could probably go with like the Nolly, the Abasi, the Nameless. Maybe even the end. I mean, like it's gonna be up to like really your own personal preference. Um, yeah, you said that you tried out all the plugins from Neural DSP. But if you're approaching low end, you're doing deathcore. Low end, maybe multiband compress the low end around like 120 hertz. Um, is also a way to do it. You could use the inbuilt EQs to dip out like 250 hertz and 500 hertz to kind of clean up that tone a little bit if it's too flubby on the low end. Yeah, Williams Aaron says, my settings for my nameless have to change depending on what pickups I'm using. My Bowden Metal 8 has actives and I can't just switch guitars. It sounds bad with passive. Yeah, no, it's going to be a really, really different dynamic as far as whether you're using active or passive pickups. Yeah, you can't treat them the same, unfortunately. Like some people I know who have like passive pickups use like a clipper on the way into a plugin. So like they'll like retroactively make it more like in line with a like an active pickup style. Um, Chris Kalias, what's up, dude? How's it going? Dr. Hell says, is it possible to see one day Drum Machine by Neural? I don't know. I like are you and you're talking about like a superior drummer sort of thing, like an interface or not an interface, but like a plugin for drums by Neural DSP. I'm guessing that's what you're after. I don't know if that's in the game plan, but I'm not going to say it's outside the realm of possibilities because they are ambitious and they want to do a lot. So I'm not going to say it's outside the realm of possibility, but I've not seen anything to say that that's a likelihood. Anand says he's currently downloading a huge orchestral library. Looks like it's going to take a few days because the servers are super slow. Uh, I'm gonna guess that that's East West. Soundsonline.com because they like I like their patches, but like if you oh gosh, the servers are so freaking slow. Let's see. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, man. And then says, love the new artist tone video updates. Very nice acoustic sound. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you guys actually want to hear, so I've been messing around with let's go ahead and get some I'll get some sexy acoustic tones up in here real quick. because I'm messing around with a couple of microphones right now. So like I have a Taylor guitar with pickups in it. It's like, what is this? Fishman. It's Fishman one. Let's go make this. Let's set this to guitar. I don't think I have anything set up. Okay, so right now I don't have anything on my guitar. No, JST clip. So this is just, I have a couple of things just to make it loud enough for you guys to hear. But I really like these. This is actually a Rode microphone, a set of Rode microphones that I'm using right here. Ooh, what's that? That was the bass. Bass sounds like farts. Cool. Yeah, love that. Ah, this sounds so cool. So happy with this. All right. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on today. So I have like my guitar DI here, and then I have my microphone here as well. So like this, so this is just straight DI sound. Oops, let's get that going to my guitar bus. Yeah, love this song. Yeah, Shred says, oh, damn, this goes to Perdition. Yeah, I love that song. Let's see. Michael D says, okay, everyone, I'm out. Gotta drive home. See you next week. Have a good one, Michael D. Oh, Damas says he's liking the Nolly one. Great, man. That's awesome. So with the Nolly, the thing that I love most about the Nolly is the master volume control, because there's volume compensation either way you go. So like unless you go all the way down, you can really get a sense of how it like tips the EQ more towards low, or more towards like the warm side, or more towards like the brightness, which is really, really awesome. Oh, dope. Quarog says, I just recently inquired for the Judge series from Hoppus. Fuck yes. Dude, the Judge series is dope. Like, if I really want the Judge series. Like, there's that, and like, I'm thinking about maybe getting a telly from them, but I don't know. I need to hit them up and talk some stuff out. Oh, let's see. Just reading through the chat right now. Let's see. So Shred asks, is the NTS more CPU intensive than Nolly, Nameless, or Granifier? It's the only one that crackles pops when it's inside my DAW on the lowest buffer setting. Huh. I don't know actually, because it could be the individual setup, and not to say that your setup is bad, but like the plugins do react differently um dependent on a couple of things, right? So if you're having problems and you can't figure it out, definitely hit up support at neuraldsp.com. Like they are fucking wizards over there, and they'll help you. They're either gonna help you troubleshoot it, like, and get you settled, or they're gonna take that knowledge that you supplied them with and make good on updates further on, so that way you won't have the problem in the future. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Kikiriki Man says, I got the NTS and I'm super satisfied with it. When I record my 7-string, one track on the left and one on the right, it sounds brutal, not even mixed. Good job, guys. Thanks, man. The NTS, I feel, is one that's really underrated, for sure. Oh, Anand says, yeah, close with the East-West guess. It's Spitfire Audio's orchestral library. Seems they are similar to East-West in that regard. Yep. Wolverine, what's up, dude? Yeah. Things are going good. Crazy Dirtweed said, Opeth, so dope. Dude, I appreciate that. Crazy Dirtweed says, goddamn accurate, bro. I appreciate that. That was a lot of, I mean, because I don't have a 12-string guitar, unfortunately. I just have my Taylor, so I kind of just make do. I make do with what I got, you know. Like I'm in a position where I have like some cool stuff, but I don't have everything that I need. But yeah, so I do the best I can with what I got, and I try to relay that on to everybody else as well, because like to me it's not just about making covers, it's about how to use the tools that you have to get the tone that's in your head. Like that's really like what I want to do. So like if you're like, okay, I want to make some tones, it's like Michael Keane from the Faceless. Like, okay, cool. Let's talk about microphones. Like their sound is very much like uh you could probably use the Granifier with like a 184 and get like immediately a pretty good tone from it. Just because of their sound is going to be similar to that. Like, uh, so yeah, I want to be able to like help you guys kind of figure out like this is this sort of sound. Like the more that I do these artist tone series, the more I can listen to a track and go like, you know what, 184 is going to work with that, or it's going to be a 57 mixed with a 121. This one may be like a 906 actually. It's got that, or like, you know, it's like, oh, they're using a 421 because it has that like that ring to it, that hiss to it that I don't like. Like somebody I was reading a post the other day and somebody's like, okay, best albums of the last 10 years, and somebody said a band. I don't remember who it was, but I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. And then I listened to it. And I'm like, oh, that sound. It's that like in their like guitars that just like it just fizzes and it grates on my ears. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yes. So the username, it was super necessary. I'm just gonna call you necessary. So necessary says asks Ghost of Perdition question mark, and yes. Travis Phillips says, I'm new to these live Q&As, but I just wanted to say, hey, I just sold my Axe FX3 to place an order for the QC. I've been using the Nameless in the meantime, and I couldn't be happier. I'm fucking stoked to hear that, dude. I'm very, very stoked to hear that. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of people saying that they're selling their Axe FX3s and Kempers in order to like get into the quad Cortex early, and I'm stoked to see it. Like the level of support and enthusiasm everybody's been having for the company and what we're doing and what we're providing, like it's just been really, really cool to see all that come together. So I appreciate you coming into the Q&A, and I appreciate your support, man. Super stoked to have you. Yeah, and then says Steven really liked the blend of the mic and the piezo. Yeah, dude. You're always gonna have a DI to like kind of like blend in and kind of like, you know, support the main stuff. Like I think that I'll probably be able to get away with just having the microphones, but like these are also kind of expensive microphones. So I don't know if like people aren't gonna really like be like, okay, well, on this one video, I'm gonna go out and get a set of Rode TF5s. I think they're like $1,500. So like, this is something that I'm using just because I can, and it's awesome. But like, I want to be able to get that piezo, like that direct line in, sounding as good as possible. Um, oh, ow. So yeah, but I appreciate it, man. I'm stoked that it sounds good. Cyanide Junkie asks, when does Rabea Masad get his own signature rig? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm actually not really a part of that side of the equation. Like I generally just do content, so I'm not really keen on who's coming up yet. So, but I'm stoked though. I'm stoked to see if that happens. First name, last name says asks, any new artist archetypes in the works? Yes. So Wolverine asks, is quad Cortex delivery still in September? I've had Kemper Profiler stage, but holding off to see how this compares. Yeah, the first batch is gonna ship in September still, as far as I know. Yeah. Peter Hassett asks, how's it going? I'm so psyched for the quad Cortex. Will I be able to get the archetype tones with it? If you own the plugins, a version of the plugin will be ported over to your quad Cortex. Yes. It'll be after the release though, so I'm not sure exactly the timeline of when that's going to be available, but that is something that they are going to work on, making sure that you guys have like your settings and your plugin and everything like that, like ready to go. So yes. Crazy Dirtweed says, if I am mimicking a solo tone or a guitar tone, I want to make it as close as possible. I've got an Andy James lead tone in Nolly that is near perfect. Fuck yeah, man. Andy James is a beast. He really is. Wolverine asks, Steven, what are main differences between Quad Cortex and Camper and Fractal? I think with the Quad Cortex, you're getting the quality of the neural DSP backing all of the science behind it. I think the Cortex's capture system is going to be just in itself worth the price of entry. But you're getting a system that's basically all inclusive and comprehensive. I think that it's going to be light years beyond what the Kemper and the Fractal can provide as far as like quality of tone and also user like the UI, the user interface is so clean that I think they had like that same kind of mentality when like with the plugins. Okay, let's start with the plugins. The plugins speed up my workflow exponentially, right? Like some of these tracks. Okay, so like the Granifier demo song, I did in 2 days. I wrote all of the parts and recorded them on day one, and then mixed them on day two, and then edited the video together, and then put it up on YouTube. Like that's how quickly sometimes I have to do these videos. So like Neural DSP plugins just speed up my stuff so fast. And I feel like the same mentality went behind building the UI of the Quad Cortex because it is super easy and it's super quick to build up a really, really solid tone. So yeah, I think those are just a couple of things that I think are going to be really strong points with the Quad Cortex. Let's see. Adnan asks, Steven, completely agree with having a piezo support the mic sound. Could you go over about how to treat EQ the piezo DI? Sure. I could take a couple minutes. Oh, it's 2:05. I think I'm gonna spend like 2 minutes on this, and then we'll duck into this. So the way that I like to have the piezo set up is I like having the piezo support what's already there, right? So these are pretty nice microphones as is. So I could just listen to this one and go. Okay, so this is nothing on either of them, and I'll actually bring them both up to unity gain so you can kind of hear what's going on. So going back and forth between the two, you can hear what some of the good things are on the microphones and what you could potentially supplement with the DI. So you can do a couple of different things like, let's go ahead and go with some compression. I'm not like super stoked on this plugin chain, so I'm just gonna start from scratch. So I'm gonna pull up the Nolly. I'm going to turn everything off because I want to compress the DI a little bit. So I'm going to hit that, pull this down a little bit. So you're bringing up a little bit more of the body and a little bit more of the notes by doing this. And Snappy is going to really kind of like clamp down on some of the transients of this. So you could make this a little bit brighter because I feel like the microphones are a little bit honky, like in that like 500 range maybe. They sound great. So now we get a little bit of compression onto the microphones. And I've already dialed in a little bit of EQ here because I thought like, you know, so I mentioned it was a little honky, so taking the 500 hertz out a little bit. So right there, you had like listening to the two of them. I started working on the EQ for both of them. Now I really liked the 125 hertz, like just like a slight bump at 125 hertz on the microphones. So I went to the piezo and brought down 125 hertz, so that way those two frequencies don't compound. So that's sort of the thing. Is like it's a balancing act, bringing out the best aspects of both sides. Let's keep going. So now I'm going to start working on some delay and reverb for this one. So what I'm going to do is I want, again, to not really overlap a whole lot of frequencies. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on the delay all the way and then mix up. I usually leave it on quarter notes because that's pretty effective. And then I'll use the low cut and the high cut to really dial in where the delay sort of lives. So So if I remember correctly, it's something like this. Same thing for the reverb. Pump the mix all the way up so you can hear exactly what's going to be happening in the background. Now, I know this guitar pretty well. I've had this for like 16 years, 17 years now. So I know that it's very 500 heavy. So I really want to scoop that out of the reverb so that way those frequencies don't pile up, right? And then your piezo sort of fills in almost like a closeness to it. Just because it is a direct signal, it really kind of like pulls it forward while still leaving that like lush microphone and delay and reverb kind of happening in the background. So it really fills out the space a lot. So that's basically how, like, I just dialed in the guitar tones for you guys that I'm going to use in the final version. I'm pretty sure. Maybe some slight tweaks here or there, but otherwise, like, this sounds really, really great to my ears. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Metal Matt 2510 asks, do you extend trials? And he got answered later on in the chat. So yeah, if you guys, if you missed out for some reason or whatever, like, just hit up support@neuraldsp.com and ask for a trial extension and see if they can give you a couple extra days just to try it out. Because I think that's it's not a bad thing. So yeah, hit them up, ask. I'm sure that they'll help you out. Let's see. Yeah, Adnan said you said it pretty much exactly. So it says sounds amazing. Thanks so much for going over it. So sort of like using the piezo as an enhancer of the sound properties that we like from the mic'd sound. In other words, what's already there. Exactly. That's 100% it. Yeah, Matthias says 500 seems to be the bad frequency when it comes to guitar mixing a lot of the times. Yeah, it does. It is between 300 to 350 hertz up to like sometimes upwards of like 700 hertz. That's usually my problem frequency because it's really like honky and like just like muffly kind of sounding. Sounds like a cardboard box. But yeah, so all right. I think I'm gonna call it a day. So let's get any final questions done in the next minute or two, because it's already 2:15, running a little over time right now, but that's all right. Just got a couple of things left to do today, then I can kind of rest. But yeah. So last questions, final questions, and then I'm gonna call it. Dude, 20 likes on this. That's awesome. How would you guys? Okay, so everybody who's still hanging out too, I wanted to ask, like, would you guys be interested in seeing in me streaming some of the other aspects of what I do? So like, when it comes to like uh recording, mixing, mastering, whatever, like, is that something that you guys would be interested in checking out while I'm doing it? Like, do you want to see me work through the mix of the Opeth track or whatever? Sir Kensington asks the same question that's been asked 4 times in this Q&A. When is the tuner getting added to the Nolly and Pliny? Very, very soon. Very soon. I mean, it's going to be within the next like 10 days, I'm sure. Wait, no. One of the updates is coming out in the next 10 days. I think it's for the Pliny, but I'm not 100% sure. But that's coming very, 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 very quickly. Cool. Yeah, seeing a lot of positives. What's up, James? How's it going, dude? Good to see you all. All right, cool. Then with that, we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. Love you guys. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me for so long. We'll see you in that next video. Have a good one, y'all. Hanging out with me